Here we're looking at something called the pancreas, and that's involved in the digestion process as well. So it's got a weird shape like this. So the pancreas has a duct. It runs through a little tube and it goes down into the intestine. So here's your intestine. The small intestine, the first part, it's called the small intestine. The duodenum. So this is the pancreatic juice, fluid. And all the juices produced in the pancreas come down this pipe. This pipe is the duct of the pancreas. So let's label that up. It's the duct of the pancreas. Now, what does the pancreas produce? It produces a few things. It produces an enzyme called amylase. Amylase. And we said amylase turns starch into maltose. So let's put a box around that. So we'll label that number 1. Number 2, it produces an enzyme called trypsin. And that turns protein into peptides. The third thing we're interested in for the pancreas and digestion is it produces something called lipase. And lipase turns lipids, and we said lipids were fats and oils. So it turns a lipid into something called glycerol, and fatty acids. So let's get this right. So this is the pancreas. It has a pipe inside it. It goes out down into the small intestine. Into the small intestine. And the small intestine is called the duodenum. Now, this produces 3 things: amylase, trypsin, lipase. It passes down this duct into the intestine. What does amylase do? It breaks down starch into maltose. Remember what we said starch was? Think of it as a plant. So it turns starch into maltose. The second enzyme is trypsin. And this turns protein into peptides. Protein into peptides. And what did we say protein was? So we said look at protein as meat. For now, that's fine for us. Protein into peptides. And the third enzyme we're interested in is lipase. Lipase. What does lipase do? It turns lipids into glycerol and fatty acids. Lipids into glycerol and fatty acids. We said lipids were fats. We said lipids are fats. If they are solid at room temperature, and oil if it's a liquid. So, for example, butter is solid at room temperature, and vegetable oil or olive oil is liquid at room temperature. They are both lipids.